Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna take a look at this Monta Atlas. This is an upcoming model from the Swiss luxury micro brand Monta, and I'm excited to share it with you guys and present it. This is a very compelling watch. I've been very much looking forward to spending a little bit of time with this and then sharing with you guys the details, because the watch has quite a few attractive details that really, although the watch has a higher price point, you don't normally see at this price point. So let's get into those. I'll begin by placing some dimensions here on the screen. The watch comes in under 40 millimeters in diameter. And that's something that I hear quite a bit as I've done reviews on YouTube over the past couple years. A lot of you guys have wished for watches that are more classically proportioned, coming in under 40 millimeters. And so this one I think is gonna be right up your alley. It's a good size, but it's not too diminutive. Now, I prefer a larger watch. I'm kind of a bigger guy. My wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference. And as you guys can see, it actually sits very well. There's no lug overhang. It doesn't look too small. And in fact, I don't know, it just looks really sharp. And part of that is just due to the case finishing here. We have generous polished chamfered edges, radial sunburst brushed bezel, kind of a cupcake style crown coming out there at the 3 o'clock position, unprotected. And then a sapphire crystal flat that sits just proud of that bezel. So very sharp. The bracelet has fully articulating links with a generous polished beveled edge. And your clasp likewise carries the same quality with a big chamfered edge and kind of an interesting, unique porthole opening, as you guys can see here. So nice details, nice wrist presence, and I think one that will appeal to those of us that have larger wrists, as well as those of us that prefer smaller sizes and have wrists, as low as 6 inches in circumference. I think this, strikes a nice sweet spot within that segment. Now let's take a look at some dial details here. We have high polished rhodium plated diamond cut applied markers, nice and dimensional sword hands with a thick bevel running right down the middle of each one of those hands, as well as a lacquered blue dial. Now the blue is unique. It's not quite navy. It has almost a little bit of a green hue to it to my eyes. In fact, when the sun hits it just right, you kind of see those green hues, and it takes on more of an aqua look, which I think looks very visually interesting. It strikes a good contrast with the red accents here on your Atlas branding, as well as your GMT hand. Now the GMT hand is cool because Monta, they wanted to take that GMT hand all the way to the outside edge of the dial, but because the watch is thin, coming in at 10.4 millimeters in overall height, and you do have that extra hand, they had to come up with a creative solution to be able to make that happen. So you'll notice the red GMT tip actually sits a little higher in elevation, so it floats over those applied markers, and there's a kind of an angle where the rest of the stick of that hand attaches to the stem. So actually, it's pretty interesting. Now let's talk about the movement. Monta is using a Sellita SW330, so that has 25 joules, 42 hours of power reserve, a 4 hertz beat frequency, and is only 4.1 millimeters in overall height. You have a quick adjust date system and an independently adjustable GMT hand, but just be aware that only moves in a clockwise position. You can't make it bump backward. You'll be utilizing the quick set date. The nice thing about this is it is fine-tuned to plus or minus 5 seconds per day when it comes to acceptable daily deviation, which I really appreciate. I think that's great for a daily wear watch. The Rolex GMT Master 2 that I'm wearing is fine-tuned to plus or minus 2 seconds per day. So just a few seconds more, an acceptable variation for this Monta, which costs quite a bit less, I think just adds to the value proposition. Now, because this is a prototype, I do have to mention that the rotor that you're gonna get on the production version is gonna be slightly more decorated, which I think will enhance the visual appearance. So this might look a little stark here in the pictures and videos, but the production models will be a little bit more enhanced, which I think is a good thing. So what would be any negative aspects to this piece? Every watch has at least one area that I think they could improve. For this one, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the clasp. Now, Like I mentioned, the clasp is original, it's well finished, it's nice and thin. This one carries 4 different micro adjustment holes. But the clasp that Monta uses on their Ocean King has a quick adjust system, which I think would really benefit the Atlas because, you know, although this has some dress watch cues to it, at heart, it really is a sport watch. It's a traveling piece. It's a watch that you could take to the beach, get wet. You know, you have 150 meters of water resistance in a screw down crown. And so the addition of the quick adjust system to the clasp, I think, would greatly enhance the end user experience or the consumer experience. Now Rolex, they do something similar. I've got the GMT Master 2 on again, and I would love for this one to have the quick adjust system, the glide lock that they use exclusively on the Submariner. Likewise, I think the quick adjust system from the Ocean King would be great here on the Atlas. But other than that, it's very well finished. It's got a nice weight. The bracelet, you know, feels like $1 million with those nicely finished, fully articulating links. You can see the movement through a sapphire exhibition case back. The dial details are rich and sharp, and overall I think this is good value prop. So it retails for $1,800. Pre-sale right now takes it down to $1,615 on a bracelet or $1,410 on a vulcanized rubber strap. So I'll leave a link to Monta's website where you can pre-order. They should ship in August. And you can also check out their other models like the Triumph, the SkyQuest, and the Ocean King. So let me know if you have any questions. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. And again, big thank you to Justin at Monta for allowing me a few days with this awesome Atlas. I really appreciate it. This one has been fun to present, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. So again, thanks for watching. Reach out with any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.